It's the girl Marilu, and I'm back with yet another episode of Let's Bloom. Let's Bloom is a chilled, safe space where not so chilled conversations happen for woman by woman. Okay, let's get straight into this episode. If you're a mother, if you're a working mother, if you're a freelance mother, if you're a not working mother, if you're a mother in general, this one is for you. Tell you what it is? Okay, can I get a drum roll? We are going to be talking about the biggest scam of motherhood, okay? Mom guilt. Yep, mom guilt. I think mom guilt is something that affects all of us, regardless of how well we're doing. I read an incredible article on betterup.com. I'm going to link the article in the description. And it really unpacks what it is and some really good coping mechanisms in terms of how to handle it, how to minimize it. Like Brene Brown, one of my favorite authors, she said that there's such a big difference between mom guilt and shame. And oftentimes when it trickles into shame, it starts affecting our mental wellness. And we don't want that. We've got to be sober and healthy mothers for our children and for our families. I've got a guest today. I'm not the only one talking. I have an incredible guest today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So I, called Winnie. I was like, hey, babes, I'd love for you to be on the show. Just a little bit of backstory about Winnie. Winnie is from the Free State. Professionally, she's the chief sub-editor at EWN. She's the sub-editor at Newsroom Africa, so she's a journalist. She's been in the media industry for probably close to 10 years. This girl's confident, she is assertive, she is so sweet, she's so caring, and it actually just makes me think of the time that I met her. We were traveling with South African tourism, and we were in Joburg, Durban, Nelspruit, and we were just checking out a couple of spots that I think that they just created on the what they have to offer, and we also ended up at the Ndaba in Durban. So just the backstory. So mostly journalists were there to cover the stories and give the hard facts, news, and all of that. And I come along with my camera operator and producer, and I'm from an entertainment show, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I am terrified because I was new and so naive but bubbly and over the top, and I bumped into Winnie and we just hit it off. We hit it off from the start. We've been probably good friends for about 5-6 years now, and so she's obviously still a journalist, and a couple of years later became a mom, same as me. And so this episode we'll just be chatting about the changes, and let's actually just see where it takes us. So stick with us, and I would love to introduce to you none other than Winnie. So being a mom, right? How has that affected? Because, you've been in the industry for so many years, more than what you've been a mom. So since being a mom, how has that affected your career?
I think for one, before you become a mother, right? You do the stories. You get the stories and you move on. You verify the facts. You do the story, you move on to the next. But what I've realized is that since Raitlegile's birth, the stories affect me more emotionally. There's a sense of, okay, here's a story, a child was raped, for example, in Khayelitsha. Okay, sharp, I'm going to verify the facts, I'm going to put the story out. But now you're a mom. At the end of the day, when you get home and think about that Khayelitsha story where a girl was raped and the perpetrator bribed her with a 5 rand coin to say, don't tell anyone. You get home and sit alone and think, this can happen to my child. This is so easily done by people that we know. And then you get those stories where the actions, the incidents are done by close family members. Right. You get a story where a father hit a 6-month-old baby to death because the child wouldn't stop crying.
Wow.
And then when you get home, you're like, Oh my God.
Imagine if that was mine.
Retlegile is just like a 1-year-old, guys. Can
Right.
people just treasure their innocence? Can people just understand that kids cry? You know, kids cry.
Yeah.
Kids cry for no reason.
Yeah.
Even as mothers, we don't understand sometimes why they're crying.
Right.
And you're sitting there asking her, "Retlegile, why are you crying? Baby, what do you need from me? I've fed you, I've changed your diaper, I have bathed you. What else do you need from me?" But then when you get a story like that, you wonder, what kind of a society are we living in? And then you start questioning everyone around you. Right? You start walking into your family, you start walking around your friends, and you're like, who among these people is capable of such
doing this?
Yes.
Right.
Who is capable? But also, you also get those stories where a mother killed their child, buried the child in a school bag, or these teenage mothers.
Some things that just don't make sense.
Yes. There are these stories that make you question your existence as a woman, as a mother, and then question everyone around you. And I think that is the most unhealthy thing that has happened to me as a journalist and a mother.
Because at the end of the day, you guys have to uncover the truth of
have to.
society, of the country, especially what the company that you're representing. You have to do that. You have to be impartial when it comes to the news. So that's terrifying, actually, when you think of it. I try to ignore some things unless I'm actually actively going in there and doing the work. But I try to keep away from that because it's terrifying to be in that space.
It's my work.
Absolutely.
If I need to get paid at the end of the day,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
These are part of the stories I'm gonna deal with on a daily basis. And with gender-based violence and kid murders, kid rapes, every day.
When if I told you that you were going to be a single mom providing for your child a couple of years ago, what was your statement?
I would have said no ways. Girl, no. Girl, please. There's no way that can happen to me.
Right.
But I don't know if I can say I'm a single mother. Because for me, I know that on a tough month, I can always call my sister and say, "Ish, Wanesu, it's not working out for me."
Support. You're talking about support. The support system.
But also that plays into the definition of a single mother. Are you really a single mother if you have support?
I think the term is more. I think in terms of society, how we've looked at it is not having a partner to support. I think that's probably where that term
emanates from. A woman falls pregnant, there's a baby. But after that, if a man decides that they're not going to be part of the raising of the child, I don't think we as women should be fighting that. Because everything that you do in life has consequences.
Right.
And the consequences of sweating in the bed is this human being. Is this human being now. With beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, a big
and a
smile.
whole personality.
Yes. And if you're not going to help me, I don't think as women we should be pushing men. If you can afford, you see, this is also where the debate comes in. Should I not be forcing him even if I can't provide for my child? If you can provide for your child,
just the peace of that,
peace
is
of mind
much better than
also,
the fight.
If the mother is at peace, the child is going to be at peace. This is what I've realized about Retlegile. She's such a soft baby. And the minute I'm not at peace and I go and see her, she feels
unstable,
and I do not want to go home bringing bad energy to her.
I feel that's the push and pull that we have with ourselves when it comes to
it's a struggle.
Trying to make sure that our children are sorted out and that we are not struggling. Because which one are we going to value most? The peace or the support? Which one?
Look here.
Which
the
one?
Baby comes first.
And I don't disagree with you.
That is the saddest
But
part.
what happens when you really can't afford this child? Let's look at our listeners, whoever is listening.
And they can't afford the
child.
child.
And they can't afford the child.
This is where the fighting starts. This is where you start fighting for your child to say, hey, dude, we're sweating together. Please.
We liked each other. We loved each other.
Also, we enjoyed the deed. Right?
Yeah.
We're dancing together in bed. We're happy. Can you just please?
Yeah.
All I'm asking for, I think every woman who is struggling should just ask for the bare minimum. Okay, the man has chosen that they're not going to be part of the supporting and
I
the
wonder
raising of
where
the
that
child.
comes from. It's so interesting how
This
across the just across the board, when the man is not with that woman, it's such a struggle. Well, you know what? I've met some men who actually do support their children.
Yes, and they're very good.
And we're
they
grateful.
go visit.
We're grateful.
And there's a father-child relationship
But
happening.
there's many situations
Who
where
just walk away. And they're like, look, I enjoyed the night. I did not expect this whole 18
and now they are
years of
exonerated from
Yes.
all of that process.
But as a woman, if you're in that situation, this is what I always tell myself, that if I ever find myself in that situation, I'm just going to go up to him and say, dude, Mfanaka, just help me. Just pay for the school at least. Pay for the school. Just one or two things. They will make a major
difference in my
difference
life.
in your financial life.
Right. I mean, when I just think about my situation and Luca, I'm like, she's such a precious baby. She deserves everything.
Everything.
She deserves
so
life.
beautiful.
She's doing ballet. She's literally
she
doing
sings.
her splits. She's singing. What? She's like, welcome
Luca
to my
is
blog. Let's
Luca
go.
is amazing.
And I'm like, I think about myself before I had her. I was like, I was doing really great. I was enjoying. I was on my way moving forward. You know what I mean? And to take a step back and take 2-3 years back and raise a child takes a lot from you. And to kickstart, to get the momentum going again is a different story.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, it's such a, it feels like I'm being stolen from when I have my
Sacrifice
dreams.
so much.
And I've got to give everything that I owe, that I earn, and plow it into my daughter.
But this is another conversation. There's a story I saw a few weeks back, right? It was talking about teenage pregnancy. And the gist of the article was that if a grade 11 girl gets impregnated by a grade 12 boy, they both need to take time out. You need to take like 3 months off to heal and to become yourself again as a woman after birth.
Right.
Then let the boy also take 3 months off. This girl did not impregnate herself. Then let them both take time off. And this is the conversation as well about maintenance. That if I'm going to be putting in, for example, financially, 5,000 every month into this child, this is crèche, this is scarftines or whatever the child needs at crèche. This is clothes.
Food,
this is hair products.
activity,
If you
hair.
guys decide, this little girl is going to have an afro, this is hair products. If this boy is going to be cutting her hair twice a month, it's still hair related money. Then let's just go 50-50.
Right. Fair. That's in a fair world.
That's just
That's in a fair world.
This is a dream. this is all a dream. But like Martin Luther King,
Disclaimer: this conversation is
yes,
only
we
based-
might pass away without
Right,
seeing this
yeah.
dream come to
Yeah.
reality.
But I mean, we can go very deep with that in terms of 50-50. I
Yeah.
mean, well, it's not even. I mean, my biggest fight is patriarchy, misogyny.
Yes.
That is the whole.
You cannot even get me started on patriarchy because it just makes me mad.
It makes you mad, you know.
Okay.
So, but
Let's
that
keep
is
it
the
moving.
root, though.
Yes.
From when it comes to women are doing the most.
We both enjoyed ourselves
Right.
that night. I mean,
Right.
it
But
was a whole lot of fun.
you know,
Now, can we?
what we're saying is that there's busy girl, eh, Winnie?
People love me. People want me.
Listen,
Sorry.
you're on that topic. Are you dating? You're a single mother. Are you dating?
That is so difficult. So when I left the father of my child, I don't like the term baby daddy.
Right. It's got a negative connotation. to it.
Yes, it
It's
does.
nasty. It's like drama, baby.
And we're not even fighting. We're
Right.
good. So when I decided that I'm gonna get back into the dating scene, I was like, I was torn, right? I was like, I'm just looking for some fun. I'm a woman. I'm a sexy, good-looking, smart woman.
Listen, you better rate yourself.
I need someone to appreciate all of this. And also I was like, okay, do I just want to fool around or do I want to get serious?
Right.
And I was like, I'm too old to be fooling around. Also, I'm too tired. I work too damn hard.
You work hard. You work hard, Winnie.
Yeah, I do work hard. Most of
But you're
my
very
life
good
is
at what
spent
you
on
do.
working.
It's true.
And I was like, I cannot.
Yes, you also a very incredible editor when it comes to my work. Let's just discuss. You are really been an angel.
I cannot. What do they say? I cannot add to that. That would be blowing my own horn.
True, you've done a lot. You've done a lot so far.
So I was like, do I want to be fooling around to find someone who's gonna appreciate my sexiness, my intelligence, and, or do I want to get serious? And then I was like, okay, let's just go out there and see what happens. So first of all, because of my work, because of the hours that I work, I cannot go to
let's
a
talk
bar.
about your hours quickly. How your hours look. Just let's
Okay, so I work 2 jobs at the moment, right?
Let's start it. It's 12 midnight.
No, wait.
How many hours
Wait. So I work 2 jobs at the moment, right? My first shift starts at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I possibly wake up around 10 past 2 in the morning to take a quick shower. I'm at work around 3, and then I knock off at 9 a.m. When I knock off, there's a short meeting with the team, right? We debrief. And then I quickly rush home. When I get home, it's like 10 a.m. I take an hour and a half nap. And then I wake up to freshen up. And then I head to my next shift, which starts at 12. From 12 to 8 p.m. At 8 p.m. when I shut my laptop, I shut everything. My phone, I put it on the charger, my laptop, I put it away, and I sleep. And then I'm up again at like 2:15 in the morning. So Monday to Friday, that's is my life. So I cannot go to a bar and say I want to meet a man today.
There's
what time?
No way. When?
What time? When? Do I sacrifice sleep or do I sacrifice a shift? If I sacrifice a shift, I can't get paid.
That's
you know?
the thing.
Yes. Do I have enough leave days at my permanent job for me to say, you know?
There's just too much variables.
So on the weekends, when people will say, okay, go meet a man on the weekend, I'm like, when?
You need to sleep, darling.
Because I need to clean my place.
What?
First of all, I need to clean my place. I need to cook for the coming week. This is on a Sunday. I don't have time during the week. So I normally cook on a Sunday. And I need enough food to last me Monday until maybe Thursday. And then on Friday, I can order something. Or I'm traveling to the Free State to be with family.
Right.
Or Marilu texted me 3 months ago and I haven't responded.
Oh, that's when you're going to have to work
we
on
need
that.
to meet up.
But shame, I understand.
Yes. And now I'm responding to her and say, okay, you need to come to my place on this Saturday at this time. Because if you don't come on that Saturday, I'm going to sleep. I'm exhausted.
Right.
I'm going to sleep. Or I'm going to be with my partner. Also, there's dating. Like I'm
don't
balancing.
Tell us about your love. You love another person.
Know?
You love.
I'm a mother. I'm a lover. I'm an employee. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. My sister's like, you know, this year I haven't seen you. And I'm like, I know, my love. I know. I'm going to come through to your place. Now I get to see the people that I want to see, the people that I love, like once a month. That's if I'm lucky.
You know what? Fast forwarding, going from breaking up with the person that you had a child with to going through the turmoil of it's over, you've got to restart, things have crashed. You have crashed, moving to you're now ready to start a new life. You've given yourself some time. You're in a new relationship. You're balancing work, and you see your child. You know, I'm just thinking of the fact that we sacrifice so much, and for instance, when I look at myself, I have let my child stay in the Eastern Cape, which is 12-13 hours away from where I am. And I get to see her once a month, every 1.5 months for this year, you know. And it's the first year I'm not with her, and it's painful.
It hurts.
You know. But I think if I have to not be in this city and working and providing life for her, I would be at home and doing what? Because our industry doesn't allow for us to be in certain cities, in certain places.
Okay, so here's the thing with being in the creatives industry, right? Be a journalist, be a singer, be an actress, be a whatever. The working hours are nuts, right? I mean, I start at 3 a.m. and I knock off at 8 p.m. Imagine if I had Retlegile here staying with me. When am I going to drop her off at crèche? And when am I going to pick her up? And when am I going to fulfill my work duties? And then it comes to a point where you feel guilty, right? Over the weekend, when you meet up with a friend and you guys go for lunch
And it feels good.
and you're sipping wine and you're having great conversations and you're having this great meal, and then you end up questioning, should I have ditched this person for my child? And the guilt in it, I think we need to work around it. And it brings me back to my point that if you are not happy, the child is going to pick up on it.
Right. So
Do what makes you happy.
That's the bottom line.
Yes. Be happy first. Be a happy mother. I'm not saying be a happy single woman out there, because there's a difference.
Yeah.
If you're a happy single woman, a lone woman with no child, I mean, you can blow your money, you can do whatever you can do. But when you're a happy mother, you buy what your child needs, and then you go see them once a month when you can, and then when you have free time, meet up with your friend. That is good for you. Go and talk crazy with them.
Yeah.
Talk boyfriends, talk marriage, talk
Because
work.
at the end of the day, if you're not going to kickstart your life after your child and keep it going, then the child won't have much of a life to live in. I mean, imagine you say, well, I'm not with the father of the child, it's just my child, and that bitterness that lingers there.
Yeah.
Imagine what life that child would have to live in.
But also that makes you wonder, is that what leads to these women that we write about in our stories? That bitterness, does it build up? The anger, does it build up to a point where a mother can kill her own child?
Right.
Because when I do these stories, I'm not just looking at them as, oh my God, Retlegile's safety is at risk here. Do I need to go fetch my child? Whatever. I'm also looking at, what was this mother going through?
Right, the empathy that you'll apply.
Yes.
To that, yeah.
I mean, being a mother to a happy, healthy child is hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
Now, you're a mother who has mental issues. You have mental issues. And you can't, you're not even aware of your mental issues. You know how sometimes black society is. You're crazy. Don't come here with that nonsense.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then you don't realize. Yes.
Invalidated experience of new motherhood.
And then you have these mental issues that you don't know of, that the father of your child is adding onto. Do all of those things push you to this act that we are now writing about, reading about, as Winnie and Marlou?
Right.
It's such a complicated thing to be a mother.
Yeah.
To be a parent.
To
be a present parent. Because you can always choose to walk away if you're a man, if you choose to. That's the easiest part. Be like,
hey now,
woman, I'm busy.
busy.
But if you're a mother, where are you going to take the child? Does that not lead to you committing these acts?
Man.
What
Pushed
help?
far enough.
Yes. But pushed by things that you yourself are not even aware of.
Yeah. So I think that's why I was listening to a sound saying that focusing on being a good mother and balancing your mental health is one of the challenging and most toughest and bravest thing that a woman can ever do, because I don't think that we validate enough how much we go through when we give birth to children and rearrange our lives to suit that and still continue living our lives.
Let's start with the birthing process itself. That is a matter of life and death. And most people don't even realize this.
We take it
You
for
can
granted.
you can die. You can easily die while
table.
giving birth. And people don't realize this. And during my birth, it was a funny thing where I kept passing out because of the pain, right? It was induced labor. So I kept passing out and coming to and passing out.
Girl,
And then they finally decided that, okay, we're going to do a C-section sharp. They did. And then afterwards I was like, what if I had passed out and never came back?
wow.
Do people even realize the physical turmoil, the heaviness of giving birth, like just bringing this human to life, whether it's natural,
What your body has to
yes,
go through.
It can kill you, whether it's C-section or it's natural.
That's why we survive these
You
breakups,
can't-
because we've just come
Yes.
from a birth.
I'm just like, if I didn't die there at the hospital,
I'm not gonna
nigga,
die here.
I can survive you.
Oh man, it's crazy.
It is.
I
It's
mean,
crazy and
it's-
sad.
It's yeah, but it's,
Yeah.
it's when I think of one word, I'm like resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience.
I don't want to be resilient anymore. I want the soft life. I'm ready.
Yeah, we're gonna be listening back to this and realizing that wow, it was worth it. It was
hope
worth
so.
it. It was worth it to raise this beautiful young
hope
girl,
so.
our girls, and yeah,
And we hope that they find men who'll be kind to them.
right. Well,
I
we
think,
hope-
yeah.
the biggest thing I think is finding that love within them.
Mm.
Number one, and then sharing that love
Mm.
with someone else. I think that's probably for me when it comes to Luca, the biggest thing
That you
I-
want for her.
Mm.
I recently asked somebody that you do know that your happiness lies with you, right?
Mm.
And they were like, funny enough, this was a very nice person that I asked this question to, and they were like, oh, of course, yes. I was like, oh, thank goodness.
Imagine they were like,
The burden is off me.
mm,
Now I don't need to feel pressured
that is your
to
responsibility
make someone happy.
Mm.
Everything starts with you.
Right.
And that's why I also need to make these girls feel like tough. I mean, we will make them realize that love, kindness, beauty, and all of that starts with them.
with them, yeah.
But the world is unkind.
Yeah.
I need them to learn how to
Know
fight
that.
back.
Right. If we are, for that one mother that's listening, you know, which is like, I want to take this job somewhere, but I don't know if I should do it because I'm terrified because I've got a young child. Because that's the choice. That's the thing that I think about very often. I've got this young child. Can I do this job? Can I do that? What do we say to those women? What do we say to that one woman?
So this is the thing that I have recently started doing, right? Go for it. Write a letter to your daughter and say, Ratlechile, dear Ratlechile, however you want to start it. On this day, during this year, I was presented with an opportunity to move to Cape Town. At this point in my life, you were just 6 months old. I was struggling with my body. I needed the money to help you grow and feed you and clothe you. And so I took the opportunity. This meant that you and I are going to be 1,000 kilometers away from each other. But go for it. Explain it in a letter. Keep it safe. One day, this little girl, this little boy will be a grown-up. They will need to make tough decisions that involve their kids. I think for me, that has been the best thing to ever happen for me. Yeah. So I explain it to her now, but she'll only get it later. And I'll give her the letter later. Maybe, yes. So maybe when she turns like 18, I'll give her a bunch of letters to say,
This is what
you're going to read them now. But as you go along, maybe when you turn 25, you will understand this specific letter. When you turn 32, this is the letter that you will relate to most. But now, I'm going for it.
Right.
I still need to live. I didn't die when Retlechile was born. So I still need to live. And if I'm not happy in my career, I cannot just stay because I have a child. Oh my God, I'm going to be 1,000 kilometers away from my child. She's 2 years old. She doesn't even understand. She's just happy to see me.
Kind of just even brings me to this point where I think the adults that are involved in assisting raising these kids have a lot of opinion when it comes to that. And it's a matter of how far you'll incorporate that into your decision making or not, you know, because that child is just young, a darling little angel,
And the child is being
Doesn't
raised
even
by
have-
my mother,
Yeah.
right? And my mother is late 60s, in her late 60s. She was born in 1956. And according to her, this is how we raise a girl. You know how they are, patriarchy and all of that. But she doesn't see it that way. According to her, this is how we raise a girl. This is how we raise a boy. And then there's me. Who comes home with toys, that are not gender-based.
Gender-based.
Yeah. I buy Rhea a truck. I buy her a toy gun.
Babe, that's a whole other
okay.
conversation. A whole different conversation on this.
But I have never bought her a doll. I think all the dolls that she has now,
From home.
yes, they were like from previous kids. I have never bought her a doll, and it's not intentional.
For sure.
It's that I walk into a store, I see this beautiful truck and I buy it. I see this beautiful puzzle and I'm like, oh my God, Rhea and my nephew Kia are
play
going,
this.
you know, this
Yeah.
is going to be such a beautiful thing. And they
yeah.
build a Spider-Man puzzle. But I'm not even
Thinking.
Yeah, and then there's my mom who's like,
Oh, gendered. You must be gendered.
I mean, see, we cannot do this for a girl.
This is not a girl thing. This is not
Yeah.
a girl color.
It's
not a girl activity.
Yes, and people want me to buy pink clothes, and I'm like, I buy cute clothes. What I find cute in the store, that's
what
what I
she'll
buy.
get.
Yes, if the sweater is black, she'll wear the black sweater.
Ooh, the black thing. Ooh,
Yeah.
Let's not even go there.
If the sweater is blue, she'll wear the blue sweater.
For sure.
Whether it matches with my nephew's sweater, I mean, that is out of my control.
Here's one thing I can tell you is that what we've learned that works for us, and I mean, obviously I've not explained in terms of the show what patriarchy is, what misogyny is, all of those
Yeah,
terms.
yeah.
But I'll get into that into another episode. But just briefly, the work that we do with our daughters and our sons definitely carries through into their lives at the end of the day and helps them to then make those changes in the world. Because all we can do is be the best of us, so that collectively, if we are in our best states, we can move forward and change the narratives of so many things, of gender-based violence, of just all of these things that's happening in our world.
But what I've realized is that, so my nephew, right? Kia, he's a very gentle boy. He's loving, he's caring. And he always tells my daughter, Ratlagile, sharing is caring. You know?
Sharing
and
is
then,
caring.
yes.
Awesome, mama.
And then I look at them like, I'm doing so well.
Yeah.
I'm killing it
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's those little things that you impart on them without even realizing. And then you see them play it out.
Yeah.
Kia would not get into the car if Ratlagile is not fully seated. If Ratlagile wants to stand in the car, he would say, Ratlagile, don't stand. You know Winnie's driving. Things like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, let's not talk about my driving skills. But he knows that we need to sit down.
Yeah.
And if there's a robot ahead, or sometimes the car stops abruptly, we need to be seated. Ratlagile, we need to be in a safe space. And those are things that we teach him without even knowing. And I think having that support structure for a man when he grows is what's going to determine how he treats women in his life. Because Kia right now is like to Ratlagile, we don't eat that. It's dirty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Ratlagile, sit here. And
Yeah.
things like that, where he puts her in a safe position in the car. That lets you know that we're doing well.
Yeah. But I also think in addition to that, it's so complex because it's not only what happens home. Because some boys grow up in really great homes. And
then they go
end
out
up,
into the world.
so it's all of our environments. That's what I'm saying. Individually, in whichever space we find ourselves, whether we are the influence from the home, whether we are the influence from the school, whether influence from the friends, from the whatever, if we set ourselves up to really be in the best position in terms of being conscious of all the different
what's
things that's
happening.
happening now. If we get into the best position and move from that place in the kindest position, in the, you know what I mean, in the fairest position, and we're aware of these things, then we can be the good the proper influences on our boys and our girls.
So what I'm trying to do with myself is hold on to what my dad taught me, right? He joked about everything. If you know me, you'll know that I would sometimes even laugh at the most inappropriate things because I got that sense of humor from him. Yeah. We laugh at things and we move on. Reality is going to hit you whether you like it or not.
Right.
And he was such a gentle, loving, funny man.
And you're very close to your dad. Yeah.
Yes. And I think I have held on to what he left me. I think if we teach our kids that, just give them one thing. just one thing in the family to hold on to. A family is full of different personalities. Marilu is outgoing. She likes bright colors. But the brother is reserved and likes Coke, right? Instead of alcohol. This one prefers home-cooked meals and all of that. If you give a child options to say, pick the personality that you're most attracted to, that works for you. Like me, the only reason why I'm still standing today and that I'm able to handle 2 jobs and say I want to do this and this and that for my child, for my mom, for my nephew, for my sisters. The one thing that grounds me is what this man left me with.
Right.
He taught me how to laugh at myself. You know how you look at yourself and like, okay, I have big ears, but dang it, I'm sexy. And then you walk out the door and you walk out the door with that confidence. It's one of the things that he left me with. And I think we need to allow our kids to choose that this is the personality that I'm mostly attracted to, and this is what's going to ground me when the world hits. It is going to come at you. It's going to come at you hard. Friends are going to be jealous. Parents of the friends are going to be jealous, and things are going to happen. African magic is going to take place. Jealousy is going to take place. Prayers are going to take place. But if your child is rooted in that one stable member of the family, or that one thing that the family believes in, there's no way that they can be swayed. I mean, we drink, we laugh, we party, but I know that family comes first. And I know that I can laugh at my family and all is well. If we keep laughing, we're good. We're good.
Laugh at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely. We definitely.
That's what I took from him.
Yeah. We thank God for all of these things.
We do.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, this God of yours, hey, what? But then at the end of the day, he would say, we really need to thank him. He was a man who laughed at everything and everyone, including himself. But he knew where the values, where the trust, where the love was at. And he would always tell people that, guys, we don't mess with family. You can go and do 1, 2, 3, but do not mess with my family. And he would say that all my kids have gone to school. I've taken them to... He took pride in the smallest of things.
The gratitude.
But he always told us, it's month end. You need to come home. I'm coming home this Saturday. We need to all be at home. So the family would always be at home when he was at home. We had to move our schedules around him because... that's when the love was blooming and blossoming and growing. Man. And that is where you got your strength to go back to varsity.
Go back.
Yes. Yeah. To fight that module, to fight that boss who didn't like you, to fight whatever demons you had. But he made sure that you came back home.
Whole, full,
yes.
Fulfilled.
Yes, to get home and to nurture yourself, to water you. And to build you so you can go out into the world.
Thank you so much, Winnie. Thank you so much for spending time with us. No, but I love the fact that you like to bloom, to grow, you know. Because you know the show's called Let's Bloom, and
Is it? I didn't know that.
Thank you. Winnie, you know everything. Let's stop acting like you don't know these things. You know you're my sound card, you're my soundboard.
Thank you.
Winnie, do you think this sounds right? I always like, Winnie, does this sound right? What do you think about this?
No, but I still don't understand why you picked me. I just hope someone hears this and does better in their lives.
For sure. And doesn't feel that guilt.
All. Yes.
That it's a scam. It's not true.
It's a scam, honey.
It's
just
a hoax.
Do what you want to do and find a way to do it.
It's like those messages that says redeem this 3 million because your family members passed. It's a hoax. Don't click on the link. Don't click on the mom guilt. It's not true.
Life is just a series of episodes, right? Where the directors are yelling cut when they want. And you're the actor. You don't even know that cut is coming. If you're in the zone, you're moving, and they yell cut, and you're like, how? Now?
But now what role must I take now? Right. But we got to do just best.
Just
every
keep
new
living.
Season. I think the inevitable thing is that life will always happen.
Yeah.
And we'll always have to reinvent, create, move forward.
Choose happiness.
Right.
Always.
And we've got to choose happiness and love in those times. Thanks so much for joining us on Let's Bloom, Winnie. an incredible time that we spent. I almost want to make that radio TV sound. Do 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 do. I gotta make that sound. Keep doing best. And
do I get paid for this? I mean, since we are single mothers.
It's season 1, babe. It's self-funded. Season 1, self-funded. So
no, I appreciate you. I appreciate
Thanks
you.
for the door. You know I had to start this podcast because I talk a lot, right? You know this. So.
And you chose the wrong person.
Because you are actually, you outshine me when it comes to the talking.
I don't know how long this episode is
3 hours, baby. So we come to the end of this talk. Oh, what a good one. Oh, I'm so grateful that my friend could give me the time to, chat and just be honest and reflective. If anything hit home for you while we were busy talking, I want you to drop me a voice note. The link is in the bio. And I want to know what you want to chat about. Let me know if there's anything that you want us to discuss. And I'll try to find a guest. So we can, bloom a little bit. And so lastly, I just want to say, like Maya Angelou says, a mother's love liberates. So set yourself at ease that your child loves you and your child is happy and is grateful for you. It doesn't matter what's happening, but just give yourself that you are doing the absolute best, your absolute best. Happiness is a choice, and only you can choose to give your children or your child a happy mother. Remember to stay kind to your mind. All my love. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.